What is happening to me? I'm losing my mind. I didn't know you could get that big.
The second Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer just dropped, and it is absolutely stacked. We finally see Peter Parker mutating out of control, a savage Hulk that might secretly be the Grey Hulk, a telepath freezing all of New York, the Hand storming a prison, and Mac Gargan back in his full Scorpion suit. Almost every single shot is hiding a clue about where this story is going. So in this video, we are walking through the entire trailer from start to finish and breaking down every detail you might have missed. Let's get into it. The trailer opens on Scorpion. Mac Gargan is finally back in his complete Scorpion suit, and the very first shot shows him gripping what looks like a damage control officer. The big question is where Gargan got this new gear. The leading ideas point to Tombstone arming him, or to leftover Chitauri tech, recovered damage control hardware, or black market parts pulled from the wreckage after Endgame. Either way, this is the long-delayed payoff to the Scorpion setup planted all the way back in Homecoming. During the fight, Peter starts to lose control and his eyes turn solid black. That black-eyed look is one of the trailer's biggest clues. It hints that Peter's mutation, his rising anger, or the pure spider side inside him is taking over. He handles Scorpion far more violently than we are used to and slams him onto a moving police car. This is where Peter hits the line that frames the entire movie, that he is completely out of control and he has to fix whatever this is right now. From there, the trailer shifts to Peter's loneliness. We see him watching Ned and MJ through social media. A clip tells us they are in their final semester at MIT, which confirms a time jump of roughly 4 years. For all of that time, Peter has been alone. He has set his Peter Parker life aside and chosen to live only as Spider-Man. It is a direct echo of Spider-Man 2, where Peter sacrifices his personal life for the responsibility of the mask. The opening of the film most likely includes a montage of Peter's adventures across those 4 years. We expect to see street-level villains like Boomerang and Tarantula in that montage, and several of the shots appear to recreate classic comic book covers panel for panel. Next, we get Peter's secret workspace. Inside, we can see his homemade gear, a fabricator system, a police scanner, and his new web cartridges. There is no Stark tech anywhere anymore. Peter is building everything himself now, and the suit even carries hints of the Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man designs. Then comes the organic webbing moment. Peter goes to fire a web, and his web shooters shatter right off his wrist. That tells us he has developed organic webbing on his own. This is one of the first major signs of his mutation, and it is a clear nod to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. From this point on, any scene where Peter wears the big silver web shooters is probably set before the mutation, and any scene where he has no shooters at all is set after it. Peter then goes to Bruce Banner because he wants to control the change happening inside his DNA. We see Banner's inhibitor device, the one that suppresses the Hulk, and Banner warns Peter that if he ever sees him without it, he should run.
You found a way to suppress mutating DNA, right?
If you see me with this stuff, run.
Peter asks whether it is possible to keep the good parts of a change while getting rid of the bad part. Banner's answer sets up the central theme of the whole film, asking how you would even decide which parts of nature are good and which are bad. The scene puts Peter and Banner on parallel paths, both of them fighting an uncontrollable power inside themselves. There is also a strong theory that Banner's inhibitor tech is the foundation for the collars that suppress mutant powers later in this universe, and the green lights on Peter's web shooters may be tied to that same technology. The trailer then moves to damage control.
It appears we're faced with a threat we can't control. One we can't even see.
And the trailer frames Sadie Sink's character as that threat. Her face is very deliberately hidden, which is an obvious marketing move. The strongest theory by far is that she is playing Jean Grey, with alternates like Rachel Summers, Typhoid Mary, Madeline Pryor. Because the character is telepathic, she may actually be hiding her own face from Peter on a mental level. Damage control has likely captured her, chained her up, and experimented on her, which means the movie may present her as the villain at first, and then reveal damage control as the real threat. After that, we get the psychic blast. This wave does not freeze people physically. Instead, it locks their minds. Everyone freezes in place, while Spider-Man and Frank Castle can still move freely. Peter's resistance may come from an enhanced spider sense, and another theory is that the AR system built into his lenses is helping him track these mental jumps. We watch her consciousness leap from one person to the next, a power that gets compared to Shadow King and his body-to-body mind hopping. If her range turns out to be limited, that could quietly set up the need for Cerebro down the line. Next is the helicopter and party sequence. The mind control passes from one guest to another and Peter follows the trail. On the helicopter, we can clearly read the words, "Just married John and Lucy." That John could be John Jameson, the son of J. Jonah Jameson, who in the comics becomes the creature Man-Wolf. It may also be a nod to the John Jameson and wedding storyline from the older Spider-Man films. Peter crashing into the middle of the party shows just how little control he has over his powers at this stage. Then we see Ned's Spider-Man investigation board. Ned appears to have become obsessed with Spider-Man. The board has notes on Spider-Man's height, his Queen's accent, and a first sighting in 2016, which points right at his MCU debut around the time of Civil War. A note about Carlos Rodriguez and the Y-Men could be a small X-Men Easter egg buried in there. There is a popular theory that because Ned has a touch of magic, the Doctor Strange spell never fully erased his memories. MJ may also still trust Spider-Man on a subconscious level, since she and Ned may have forgotten Peter Parker but never truly forgot the events they lived through with Spider-Man. Then MJ is suddenly in danger. Peter shows up at her window and tells her she is in danger and that she has to trust him. The fact that MJ says fine so quickly suggests she still carries that buried trust in Spider-Man. The scene calls straight back to the swinging moments from Far From Home and No Way Home. It is also Peter's worst fear coming true, because he stayed away from MJ to keep her safe, and now he is the one dragging her into danger. Real quick, if you are enjoying this breakdown, hit like and subscribe so you do not miss anything. Now back to the trailer. Peter then takes MJ to Frank Castle. As the Punisher, Frank is one of the hardest but most reliable options for protection that Peter has. Peter does not kill, and Frank has no problem with it, so the moral clash between them is clearly going to matter in this film. Frank being immune to the mind control may be the exact reason he is the safe person to leave MJ with. The trailer also makes a real point of showing his analog off-the-grid hideout. And since the Punisher's very first comic appearance was tied to the Jackal, this choice quietly strengthens the Jackal theory we will come back to. After that come the Hulk scenes.
I didn't know you could get that big.
Banner's inhibitor is shown broken or pulled off. Peter tells someone they will not get away with this, and the reply comes back through Banner's mouth. Something close to, but he might. That strongly suggests Banner's mind is being controlled. Jean Grey, or another telepath, may have let the Hulk loose on purpose. The savage form of the Hulk returns. He unleashes a thunderclap that sends Spider-Man flying, and Peter says he did not know the Hulk could get that big. In the trailer, the Hulk clearly looks green, but the Grey Hulk theory is still very much alive. Leaks, the toy and poster colors, and Sony posting him as gray before quietly switching him to green have all fed that expectation. One idea is that Savage Hulk is the green form, and the Grey Hulk shows up later as a bigger and even more savage version. Jean Grey turning him gray could even be a visual pun on the word gray. In the comics, the Grey Hulk is Joe Fixit, smarter and far more cunning than the green one, although this film may reinterpret all of that completely. Then comes May's voice playing over a grave. May reminds Peter of his responsibility, carrying the idea that no matter how powerful he becomes, the people who love him for who he is. It is a reminder that Peter cannot afford to lose his humanity, as his mutation makes him stronger and stronger. The inscription on the grave is a nod to the message on May's grave in the PlayStation Spider-Man game, and May herself may appear as a flashback, a memory, or a mental vision somewhere in the film. Next is the Hand and the prison fight. The Hand are a ninja organization pulled from the Daredevil comics. The trailer markets them like they are the main threat, but the real target inside that prison may actually be Matt Murdock. Daredevil himself could be hidden in these shots or even edited out of the trailer entirely. It matters a lot that Peter fights without his mask here, because being seen is a genuine risk for him. The Hand move fast enough and quietly enough to truly challenge his spider sense. Peter answers them with a web tornado made from his organic webbing, which shows he is finally starting to control his mutation and turn it into a weapon. Their return to the city may be explained by the power vacuum left behind after Ronin wiped out the Yakuza. Toward the finale, we get a fight with damage control soldiers. Peter turning on damage control suggests he has learned the truth about what the organization really is underneath. This moment is smaller in tempo, but it is big for the story. Peter stretches before the fight and jokes that he is not in high school anymore, a line that underlines how the homecoming era is over and we are watching a far more grown-up Spider-Man now. The biggest final theory to keep in your back pocket is the Jackal. Miles Warren, the Jackal, fits this mutation story perfectly because of his deep genetics and cloning background, and Keith David's character is rumored to be him. The Jackal may have tampered with Peter's DNA to trigger the mutation, possibly even using Scorpion as a way to poison him. That single thread could open the door to the Clone Saga, to Scarlet Spider, or even to the Man-Spider storyline. And since a piece of Venom is still loose somewhere in the MCU, the black suit is not off the table either. There is also a theory that Tombstone is the one organizing all of these street-level villains, hiring the Hand, and trying to fill the Kingpin-shaped hole in the city. As for Dr. Doom, expectations are low, and if he shows up at all, it is most likely in a post-credit scene. So those are the details packed into the second Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. What do you think they are still hiding for the final trailer, and what do you think got left out of this one? Let me know down in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and give this trailer your hype score out of 10.